Romans chapter 10 is a deeply theological part of Paul's letter to the Romans. In this chapter, Paul expresses his heartfelt desire for the salvation of the Jewish people and explains the relationship between faith, righteousness, and salvation. He continues the argument from the previous chapter, focusing on the accessibility of salvation through faith in Jesus Christ rather than through the works of the law. Paul begins by acknowledging the zeal of the Israelites for God, but he notes that this zeal is not based on knowledge. They are trying to establish their own righteousness through the law, rather than accepting the righteousness that comes from God. Paul emphasizes that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone who believes. Romans chapter 10 verse 4. Meaning that through Christ, the purpose of the law is fulfilled, and the way to righteousness is made clear, through faith. One of the most quoted verses in this chapter is Romans chapter 10 verse 9, which states, "If you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." This verse encapsulates the core message of Christian salvation. It is not about religious rituals or ethnic heritage, but about a personal confession of faith and belief in the resurrection. Paul also stresses the universality of the gospel, declaring that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Romans chapter 10 verse 13. He then addresses the importance of preaching, stating that people cannot believe in Christ unless they hear about him, and they cannot hear without someone preaching. This passage underscores the necessity of evangelism and the missionary work of the church. In conclusion, Romans chapter 10 highlights the simplicity and inclusiveness of the gospel message. Salvation is available to all who believe and confess Jesus as Lord. It also serves as a call to action for believers to share the message so that others may hear, believe, and be saved.